Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. As well, here at Boom Broadcasting, we do not require anyone's souls to enjoy the content. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. Yes, it is indeed the man that likes to mouth off here. It is mouthing off with Mike here. Welcome in to tonight's edition of The Nightcap here. We've got Monday Night Raw out in Cincinnati, Ohio, and a lot better of a WWE show than what we talked about on Friday. Raw is completely night and day. As opposed to what they got going on the Blue Brand on a Friday night on USA Network. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was absolutely a very good go-home show. That's the best way I could put it. It was absolutely a go-home show. It was pretty good for the most part. We had some peaks. We did have a couple valleys here that we'll break down here on the show. But overall, a lot more enjoyable than Friday night. And I would say maybe even a little bit more enjoyable than last week's episode of Raw, at least in my personal opinion. You had the stars were out in full effect tonight. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Penta, The New Day, and of course, capped off at the end with in my personal opinion, a fantastic WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match with Bianca and Naomi defending against Liv and Raquel of the Judgment Day. Overall, my thoughts, really solid. Let's hear what you guys got to say in the comments. Make sure you drop some comments. Tell me what you thought as we go ahead and we break it all down here on the Nightcap. First, we're going to start at the beginning tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to do it. We're going to go in order. Unlike Friday night show where I threw everything out of the window, we started open with I Want Your Soul. Infamously said by The Rock here, as you heard me in the intro. Here on Boom Broadcasting, we do not require your souls to enjoy our content. All we ask is that you just please subscribe on YouTube and follow us on social media platforms. So no souls, just to subscribe here and there. It's a lot less than requesting another man's soul here, or another woman's soul, or another person's soul. But speaking of souls here, one of the most soulless WWE wrestlers that we have, or sports entertainers in the industry, that's Logan Paul. That's Logan Paul. And we're in Cincinnati, Ohio. We know Logan's from Ohio by way of Puerto Rico, by way of California, by way of Vine. But we got Logan Paul kicking off Raw, and I rolled my eyes. I guess you could say tonight's Raw was good for the soul. It was, ZWC. It was good for the soul. Depends on who you're talking to. But I was a little worried starting off the show with Logan Paul. You listen, that's a bold way to start a show. It's a bold way for a lot of people to see that and be like, "Oh, Logan Paul, click. I'll be back in 15 minutes." And honestly, you could have skipped Logan Paul's opening monologue here, but then you would have missed CM Punk. Absolutely lay into this man. CM Punk, Logan Paul, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I will. Logan Paul held his own for the most part. Punk, of course, he's got to come in. He's got to throw a haymaker here at you. Talking about the people need more from him. He's lacks a character, lacks depth, lacks personality, and the people just absolutely slicing and dicing him up here. In record time. There's nobody like CM Punk out there on the mic. Especially after all the stuff that he's been through in his career. over these last 7 years. You are not going to find anybody better. And Logan Paul, for a guy who's doing this casually for the last few years, I have to give credit where credit's due. He held his own. He got some good words in there. He also did get a cheap shot in on CM Punk, which I like. I absolutely love that, because what that sets up is Punk's focus being on more than just Seth and Drew in that chamber match Saturday in Toronto. That also makes things personal with him to teach Logan Paul a lesson and do everything in his power, I feel, to make sure that Logan Paul is eliminated and he's the one to do it, that being CM Punk. So I do like that added element. Logan, listen, I would be very shocked if he doesn't have a high-profile match at WrestleMania. I think a lot of us kind of know where that's headed. We saw those reports. We saw those rumors a couple weeks ago about potentially Logan Paul's opponent at WrestleMania was a man you can't see. If he were to get in that chamber and eliminate John Cena, I think there's some meat there. There's some substance that you could play out. I would definitely not like to see that be John Cena's last WrestleMania match. That's a very important match, right? Everyone remembers if you're a professional wrestler, right? I'm sure you can go back and you can remember, your favorite wrestler's first Mania match. This is his last Mania match, and we've saw what happened and how people reference the retirement match of Kurt Angle against Baron Corbin, and how everyone is still to this day like, why was it him? Someone in 10 other people could have been the one to do it, but everyone remembers that last match. So this is a very important match for John Cena on this farewell tour, and a farewell tour that we've only seen him now twice. We're going to see him a third time Saturday, but over the course of, we're in the end of February. Elimination Chamber is March 1st, and we've only seen Cena 3 times now, counting this Saturday's appearance. So I'm hoping that post-Mania season, it is week in, week out, or every other week with Cena. But I have no idea why he hasn't been discussed more. Nobody brought him up over these last couple weeks since the Royal Rumble. Maybe 1 or 2 people have brought him up. No one has brought his name up. No one has thrown a dig at him in any of these promos. I figured a guy like Drew would have already had said, all right, John Cena's taking up a spot in this match that he didn't even earn. Classic John Cena or something. Oh, I know that John all too well for my first time around. Like, I felt like Drew would have been a great guy to throw that out there. Logan Paul, another great guy that you could use, in this kind of thing where it's like, well, Cena's in it. What did he, like, everyone just kind of has accepted it. Like, oh, it's John Cena. Okay. And I get that. I guess it makes sense, but definitely would have liked someone that had been like, all right, well, and John Cena here, who's in this chamber match, but we haven't seen him since he lost at the Royal Rumble to Jey Uso, ha ha ha, hoi hoi hoi, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeet, no yeet, whatever. Nevertheless, I would have liked to seen a little bit more reference there. Absolute great opening match here of tonight on Raw. This, for me, I think, shout out to good brother Wayne, host of Sideline Savants, the commish. Yeah, man, I thought Cena, I would have expected to see him a little bit more here and there, but hey, hopefully after this WrestleMania season, maybe it's a more of a periodic, continuous thing every other week. Who knows? Shout out to Sean. Great Raw indeed, Sean. It was a very good Raw. I thought so. I was thoroughly sports entertained. I thought this match right here was a perfect opener. Penta, Dunn, Kaiser. Great decision by Triple H, by whoever else is booking Raw and creative, to throw these 3 guys in this kind of weird triangle feud that we had. First branched off, with Dunn, Kaiser, and Penta. Now we finally get this triple threat, which I thought was a really good triple threat. Penta looked great. Pete Dunne did his job wonderfully. Sold Kaiser's finishing move that I don't even know the name of his finishing move. Call me a fake fan. Call me what you are. But you already know what I'm about to say about this man, Ludwig Kaiser. The European excellence exuberated through your television screens here tonight when Kaiser, Mr. European elegance himself, excellence, picked up a massive upset win in this triple threat, pinning Pete Dunne, throwing Penta out of the ring to get this win. I loved every second about this. Penta, put an asterisk next to it. Penta loses his first match in WWE. Wasn't a singles match. He's still undefeated in singles action, and he didn't eat the pin here in this match. So is he really a loser? But he was in the match, and he didn't win. So a lot of protection took place. A lot of protection there on Penta's name. So love everything about this. We're going to talk a little bit more about this IC title picture here with Braun Breaker and some of these guys that we're seeing here tonight. Dirty Dom's in there. Finn Balor is definitely in there. But no, I from the in-ring work here, I got to say, man, Penta, I don't know how you let listen, I'm not going to be that guy. I don't want to be that podcaster, whatever, streamer, whatever you want to call me. I don't want to be that guy, but I just don't understand the way that the fans have reacted for Penta. If I was a certain wrestling company owner in Jacksonville, I would be seeing this and I would be hearing this and I'd be going, damn, I effed up big time. And you could say that about a lot of guys and gals. All right. But I think right now with this Penta's thing, like, you mean to tell me you couldn't book Penta in singles action while Ray was hurt and done what they're doing right now? Just hear me out, because he is over. That crowd loves him. Zero Miedo. They're buying a merch up the shelves. People wearing masks. I pre-ordered my mask. You had Nit Ram on the show a couple weeks ago on his debut on Raw, where he was rocking his Penta mask. Guy's over. You know, you really got something special. And the presentation WWE can provide to him, it's a match made in beautiful wrestling synergy here. Saving Penta was great. Hot triple threat. My only issue was, boy, how much oil did Ludwig use? Hey, listen, hear me out. It wasn't enough oil for that European elegance. That jawline could cut diamonds. I would be feeling that way about Ricochet. Yeah, I think that's a huge there. This goes back and forth. I can make the same argument. And this is why I always say I'm like the kind of net neutral here in this wrestling game, is I can make the same argument for AEW when you look at Swerve Strickland. WWE did not give this man a shot whatsoever. Look at what he was able to do when he got a shot. Same thing could be said about Bryan Danielson. They had him. Look, how many years do we have him? How great was he doing? Big ball dropped. He got a great send-off, you know? Guy like Moxley in the early onset. Right now, I'm not really liking this Mox, but same thing can be said. They dropped the ball, WWE. They absolutely fumbled John Moxley. But then again, was John Moxley ever a WWE guy, or was he always that kind of guy at his core? But Ricochet, I agree, and I agree a lot of those names. They're making an example of Penta. Show AEW time that years he'd been married by Vince. You were with other guys. It's done. You can be a star in WWE. No, exactly, Wayne. That's a valid point. There's a lot of good, look, WWE is a massive conglomerate corporation. They are the machine, right? As they've been called for decades. And I'm not here to be like an apologist for them. They have made terrible business decisions. They have done terrible things. There's a ton that goes swept under the rug that we don't even want to get into on this show, because I really don't. I watch professional wrestling to escape the world, not to, but sometimes you have to acknowledge it and you have to talk about it, right? WWE has earned a lot of good faith in wrestling again over those last 2 years, I'd say. Obviously, a lot went down the tubes, with that whole lawsuit thing, but I'm not going to talk about that right this moment. I want to just say in general with wrestling, they've earned a lot of good faith, but they've also lost a lot of good faith too. They're doing a lot. They're bringing WWE ID program, a lot of, getting younger talent, getting talent scouted from college that may not be going professional in their sport, or super athletic, super over influencers, things like that. And they're also allowing talents to work in other places and show up here and there and help some of those independents. And we have a partnership with TNA, and you have NXT, and you have the PC, and the pipeline is just ever growing. But exactly, that's why we need all major wrestling companies to do us. Some people just work better in different systems and with different writers. Exactly. Great point, Mark. Always booking like a Mark, now available on Spotify. 100%. Great point. And the point remains is the same thing happens, with WWE, where I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say like WWE all good, no bad. No. There's good, there's bad, and there's ugly. Same thing with AEW. I'm not going to say AEW all good, all no bad. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly there. Same TNA. We already know what the ugly, the elephant in the room there is, but at least for now. But same principle. Apply it to every indie out there. GCW. You look at. Honestly, I think one of the better booked and ran promotions is DPW, is Deadlock Pro. So neither here nor there, but they've done wonders for guys like Penta. They're going to do wonders for, they're doing wonders for a guy like Cody, but Cody was already Cody before, you know what I mean? They're going to do good things for Ricky Saints. I felt the same thing with Jade. We'll get into it, but no, solid match. If you haven't watched Raw, this is your first time watching or hearing about tonight's episode of Raw, go back, watch this triple threat. Kaiser is a star. Absolutely love the guy. Your show's the only way I know it's Monday. Hey, shout out to Chris, host of Dugout Debrief. I know he's happy. Baseball season is finally started, so the Dugout Debrief is available on Boom Broadcasting. Of course, Wayne has Sideline Savants. He also works with Three from Deep, with Mr. New York, Mr. Jason. But not great. Go back, watch this. Really solid. New Day, LWO. Oh, my brothers and sisters and everyone included here. Wow, we have fallen so far from the vision that I had in place for the heel New Day. Because my, oh my, we did not have one of the greatest segments on a Monday Night Raw with these two, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E. We did not have one of those, the greatest breakups of a well-beloved faction, and did not follow it up with an LWO feud. Because, wow. Because what the hell? Listen, I agree. More LWO, please. That was fantastic. Joaquin, Cruz del Toro, super underrated, super talented. Part of me wishes we had a cruiserweight division just so these two guys could get extra opportunities in the ring with a handful of others. Nevertheless, the New Day feuding with the LWO right off the heels of that. And this is realistically the first thing they've done since the big turn. Besides, being cowardly heels and playing up that emotion factor there with the new theme music is oof. I do like the attitudes. That's the biggest thing for me. Personally, I would have ripped the old school heel entrance here. Pull a most recently done by Don Callis and AEW. Pull the no music for the New Day. When we were transitioning the music thing, should have had them come out no music to the serenading of the crowd chanting "New Day sucks, New Day sucks." That's it. That's all I wanted from heel New Day. Take away the things that made them. The colors, I do love that they're wearing, darker fits now. Take away the unicorns and rainbows, make it all cloudy and gray like they did. But I think the nail that would have like really sent everything home, the stamp on the letter to send it home would have been no entrance music, crowd serenades them the New Day sucks as they come out. You should thank God for the New Day. That was a top tier line. I do good callback, good call up here, Wayne. I like everything with the New Day's attitude. I just wish we would have figured out something to give them a better jump off into something. LWO has kind of been on the outs for a bit. Do like seeing Dragon Lee pop up at the end to make the big save and then inevitably lose. So we know where this is headed. Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio versus the New Day on an episode of Raw in 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. Raw before WrestleMania. Raw in one of the foreign countries, European countries we're going to be in March. One of those Raws. Book that tag team match, and then you'll figure New Day are fighting for something at WrestleMania. I mean, you got to figure they got to be fighting for something if they're going to pay off this huge heel turn. You got to figure Mania is the most logical destination. That's my best guess. Gunther versus Akira Tozawa. We can all agree that Akira Tozawa is one of the funniest wrestlers and entertainers behind R-Truth that WWE has right now. We can also agree that Akira Tozawa can absolutely fucking wrestle because we've seen this man wrestle. I've seen this man, on his pre-WWE days, wrestling overseas. I've seen some incredible matches with Akira Tozawa. New Day went on Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah, I see that. I see it. I 100% see that. So giving Tozawa time here so I could feel the power of Tozawa, I appreciated this. This wasn't just like man, they're going to squash Tozawa. It's over. Nah. Tozawa got his ish in tonight. And I am noticing, folks. I am noticing. A lot of people last week were talking about Tozawa. And there was a lot of clips circulating on social media, of him pre-WWE days, hooping it up there in Japan and some of those other wrestling companies he worked with. And some just tells me that a certain man by the name of Hunter Hearst Helmsley saw those tweets and said, you know what? I got a great idea. We're going to have Gunther lay down this open challenge, and we're going to have him challenge Akira Tozawa. And we're going to let Akira Tozawa cook for 5 minutes straight and satisfy all these fans that were talking about how Akira Tozawa can cook. He fucking cooked. Gunther looks all the more evil, even attacking Otis. Listen, we're bringing back the Otis here with Maxine Dupree. Even attacks Otis. Main event Jey Uso. Get your yeeting ready. Yeah, I'm yeeting tonight on the Nightcap, ladies and gentlemen, because Jey Uso makes the yeeting save here for the Alpha Academy or the Alpha Babes or whatever their tag team name is now. Neither here nor there. Jey Uso makes the big old save. Gunther dips out of there. I like it. Listen, I'm in for it. Hate me now. Because Jey Uso and Gunther, the way that they've built it up since Jey has won the Rumble, has sold me. Triple H, he may not be having a near perfect build to WrestleMania like he did last year, but with Jey and Gunther, I feel more inclined and I feel more likely to enjoy that match now than I did at the end of the Royal Rumble a few weeks ago. They're cooking with this. I'm not mad at this at all. I think Jey will win the title at Mania, and I think it'll be a grand celebration. I just don't think Jey holds that title much longer there after WrestleMania. I think you got an expiration date on that title. It's got to go to the next person after that. And then other than that, it is wide open, in my personal opinion, for the year 2025, 2026, heading into that way. I like this. This did move me. Look, you guys know I'm a big advocate for the women to get some more airtime here on Raw tonight. 2 women's matches, a couple women's segments, some here and there, some social media clips and yada yada, but 2 really good women's matches. Lyra Valkyria defending against Dakota Kai, the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Part 2 from the finals of the IC Championship Tournament. Lyra successfully defends her title. Dakota and her had a fantastic match. If I were to maybe get a little bit nitpicky here, I'd say maybe this could have main evented Raw. I am happy with the tag team main event. But if I were to sit here and I had the pen, I would have flipped. I probably would have thrown a women's tag team championship match on first, and then I would have thrown this on last, and then chunked everything up a little bit differently in the mid card section. But fantastic match. If you didn't watch this one, I go back and I recommend you watch this. If you missed it, if you're tuning into Raw late or on a West Coast, obviously it's live now everywhere at 8 Eastern or wherever you're located. So it's live whenever. But if you need to go back, rewatch, I definitely don't miss this match because it was very good. It was better than their first interaction. I think if you give them 10 more minutes, if you can get them on a pay-per-view, premium live event, excuse me, you can get them on a PLE, give them 20 minutes. You got a match of the year, women's match candidate with these two. Ivy Nile, though, post-match attack. I like it. Let me get some build for Ivy. She was touted as the pit bull, of Diamond Mine at the time. She had a very short, quick single stint in NXT before her and the Creeds got called up. I personally would have preferred to her if hang back a couple, maybe more months after that. But since she's been on the main roster and since she's gotten a chance to, the crowd was so mild for that women's IC title match. The match was good, but that crowd was not there. Yeah, I mean, hey, Cincinnati, what are you going to do? Maybe they had a little too much Skyline chili. I don't know, man. Then maybe they just, the souls were sucked out of them after having to listen to Logan Paul talk and having to watch a New Day match. I don't know. Nevertheless, I enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. I was happy to see that they're letting Lyra wrestle again because, man, oh man, has this mid-card championship on Raw been an absolute train wreck since they've unveiled it because they did not flesh anything out. And I don't know that. I'm speaking strictly off the cuff here, but if they would have actually had established this and said, look, here's the sitch. All right. We're going to shoot you, and you into the IC women's division. You, and you are now the women's world championship division. Here's how we're going to break this down. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to go boop, 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 number one contenders. Then we're going to have the tournament final, and then you're going to be the new women's champion now, or IC title. Now, that division that we just said, whoever, whatever, whoever's left now, we're going to take those women, and that's your division for the IC title. And then what they should have immediately followed everything up with, like they did with the US title on SmackDown, was done a series of number one contenders matches for women who may not have gotten an opportunity in the tournament itself. Have a woman who wasn't in the tournament against a woman who lost in the semifinals of the tournament for the IC title. Okay. So you have, let's just say, all right, so Dakota lost in the finals. And I think the finale was like Io Sky and somebody else. So whatever. The name's drawn a blank on me right now. Who did Lyra beat? Oh shit. Oh, so long ago, I can't remember. But you see my point? Like if they would have established that with the Raw women's, and then first of all, not let Lyra do shitty backstage promos and everything. Like let her tell us like who she is as the champion now, why it meant so much to her to be the first ever women's intercontinental champion. I think 100% you could have ran a series of number one contenders matches with women who lost in the semis against women who didn't get a chance, and then had a woman who didn't get a chance versus a woman who lost in the semis move on for then the number one contendership. And then I think that's how you drive that through these next couple months. So at least we're getting Niall in this mix. I want to see Niall win that belt. I would like to see Ivy, but the problem is it's like we're going to go from one wrestler who never got proper character development before the title to another wrestler who's getting some character development, but it's all based upon the faction that Chad Gable that she's in. Without that faction, who is Ivy Niall? She's just the strong girl who carries the chain around her neck. That's all we've got up to this point. So you tell me who Ivy Nile is next week and the week after, and then you have her go up against, say, Dakota Kai for that number one contendership spot, or, someone else. I know there's a lot of injuries out there on the women's side on Raw. We're missing Asuka. We're missing Kairi Sane. That's two big ones. Obviously Becky's big question mark at the end of that. But, I think, yeah, you need a champ with a personality. It's working for Chelsea. Absolutely. That's the main thing keeping the U.S. title afloat is Chelsea Green. Without Chelsea Green, say that U.S. title went on someone else, say Mi Shin won that, it'd be a same title situation as Lyra. And I love Mi Shin, but same situation that we're having with Lyra here. So Ivy getting in the mix here. I like it. Where's someone like Natty? I know you guys are going to roll your eyes at me saying that. Natty's a savvy vet, an absolute savvy veteran. You could 100% mix her in with this IC championship division. Why you're not, it befuddles me. It irritates me. Okay, let's get even crazier. We know Sonya Deville, her contract wasn't renewed. There's still Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark sitting back there in catering, making, I guess on Shayna's TikTok, making stews. You mean to tell me you can't get Shayna and Zoe into the mix here for this women's IC championship picture? I would be chomping at the bit if I was a creative writer in WWE. I'd be sending in my scripts every week for a Shayna or a Zoe run at Lyra till Mania. That's the problem. And I think that's what's faulting them right now with the Raw side is look, you have the women. You're just showing the same 6 women, and the same problem is on SmackDown too. You're showing the same 6 women. How are you supposed to flush out the women's mid-card divisions if you don't give them a chance? If you don't give them a chance to get proper appearances and proper booking on television. Shout out to Kayfabe Keith. I love you, Kayfabe Keith. Everybody wish Kayfabe Keith the good shift here. He's headed off to work here this evening. He's on the late night shift. We're on the nightcap. This is the late shift for Boom Broadcasting. He's on the late shift at his job. So Godspeed, my good sir. Hey, there it is. Hey, there it is. You gotta love a good Kayfabe Keith interaction here. No, but for real, that's the truth. The men's Intercontinental Championship has been called the workhorse belt to differentiate it from the U.S. title. Lyra should be doing open challenges, earning credibility as a champion. Just leave this up. Should I just leave this up for the rest of the show? Because this is spot on. You got Shayna, you got Zoe, you got Natty. That's 3 off the top of my dome that haven't been released or not contract renewed. I'm seeing Ivy, which is good. I'm seeing Dakota, which is great. I'm seeing Lyra as champ. That's fantastic. We know Rhea's got EO next Monday on Raw. We know we've got 6 women in the chamber, 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. You got Roxanne Perez. Didn't see Roxanne Perez tonight on TV. I know it happened during a commercial break. Her and Bayley had an interaction. Didn't see her on the Go Home show. Didn't see the other women. Now we're going to see that on SmackDown Friday, guaranteed. Let me get off this subject. I'm just happy the women had 2 matches tonight instead of 1 in 2 hours and 40 minutes. Braun Breaker, no contest tonight on Monday Night Raw. Dirty Dom Mysterio and the Judgment Day, they get the jump on that absolute animal, Braun Breaker. The agenda's clear, ladies and gentlemen. There is a multi-man's Intercontinental Championship match coming down the pipeline at WrestleMania, and it might include Dom Mysterio. Hell, it might even include Finn Balor after that absolutely feral stare down him and Braun Breaker had in the middle of the ring, just gritting their teeth, growling at one another, drooling saliva. I was like, you got 2 wild rabid dogs in a ring right now. You got Braun Breaker and you got Finn Balor, dog. I was like, God damn, there are 2 wolves. There are 2 wolves in that ring right there. I like it. Throw AJ Styles in a mix. F it. Let's have a 10-man ladder match at WrestleMania for the IC title. Everyone except Sheamus. Just for Chano. That's just for Chano Hayes from Four Sides of the Ring. If you know, you know. Cody has a difficult decision to Cody's got a difficult decision to make Saturday at Elimination Chamber. On the one hand, Cody, he could continue being WWE champion, being one of the most popular wrestlers in WWE, and keep his soul. On the other hand here, he can still be WWE champion, but he could sell his soul to Dwayne the Soul Man Johnson. And his wildest dreams will come true. Where have I heard this before? Where have I heard that offer before? Cody, please, just for the sake of of everyone's sanity, just don't sell your soul, bud. I can't deal with the absolute crash out that'll ensue on social media. What? Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe hit up maybe maybe hit up one of those late night commercials that we used to have back in the day, you know. Call 1-800 yours for your personal experience. Listen, don't call the number. Don't call the number, folks. Please don't call the number. Don't do it. I'm crying. I have actual tears, real tears, cry me a river, legitimately on the nightcap. To answer your question, Rick, I don't know what BDSM store you got the jacket from. I just know that shit was crazy. The absolute crazy fit. And Seth and Cody, man, they got chemistry. We talk a lot about wrestlers and them being soulmates. There's a lot of souls, a lot of souls here. Oh my god. Why? What has happened to this show? This show used to be such a upstanding pillar of for just $5 a minute. You too can be sweetly serenaded by the voice of Mouthing Off with Mike for $5 a minute. We're gonna be yay. The Prez is gonna pull the plug on this show inevitably one day. I'm sorry. And shout out to all of you guys viewing this right now at 10 or 11:20 on the East Coast, man. Let's give a shout out to all of you folks, because without all of you guys, I don't have the energy to do this. I'm just yapping. I'm just fucking yapping now. No, Cody's got a difficult decision. Seth and him, great war words here. They got the juice. They got the chemistry. I could see Cody and Seth do this forever. I would be okay with Cody and Seth being like Sammy and KO, where it's just they always come back to one another and they just have to beat the shit out of each other. Whether it's Hell in a Cell, Last Man Standing, I Quit, this stipulation, that stipulation, bull rope, this rope, that rope, the BDSM fit on a pole match for my soul, whatever. I could watch them beef back and forth. Cody, a lot of great references here to Seth, really just digging at Seth, talking about the Shield betrayal, his betrayal, joining the Authority, talking about a guy whose soul's compromised. He was like, you sure you're not just jealous at The Rock? Asked me for my soul, and he doesn't want your soul because your soul's been compromised. I thought that was such a great line by Cody. And then bringing up the Shield and that betrayal, bringing up the betrayal, of God, who did he just betray before that? Shit. He's just Seth, just classic Seth. We're just trying to keep you awake, brother. That's what happens. You guys keeping me awake. I mean, I am A-okay. It's only 9:24 here in the wonderful southwestern region of the United States. So it is still early for me. For you guys, it's 2 hours later. But no, Cody's got a difficult decision. Will Cody sell his soul to The Rock? Will Cody not sell his soul to The Rock? Who will win Elimination Chamber? who will go on to main event WrestleMania, and where the hell does CM Punk's favor and Roman Reigns fit into all of this? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Actually, find out on the next episode of Mouthing Off with Mike, coming at you later this week when I do my Elimination Chamber predictions. And I'll talk a little bit more in depth about, will Cody sell his soul? What's CM Punk's favor that's owed to him? And where the fuck is Roman Reigns? This chamber can be fire. Cena, Punk, Seth, Damian, Drew, all 5 could be serious threats for WrestleMania. But here we are, days from talking about Dwayne and Souls. That's the problem, Rick. That's the problem. We have one of the on paper greatest elimination chambers when it comes to big name superstardom in-ring talent. There is one sneak in there. That is Logan Paul. But we're still talking about Dwayne and Souls. Couldn't have said it better myself, brother. We'll talk about it. Mouthing Off with Mike, Elimination Chamber predictions coming at you later this week. Should be, hopefully, fingers crossed, by Thursday. Well, we've made it. After a very long-wind episode, I feel like I've just been talking this entire show. Oh, wait, I have been. I'm the only one here. It's just me, Oos. But I enjoy this. This is like my therapy session for the week. I, unscripted, live, on social media, on Boom Broadcasting and my Twitter and Boom's Facebook, just get to just rattle off everything that happened, talk my crazy ideas, my theories, and then we bounce shit back and forth in the comments. And we end up having questions about what BDSM store Seth bought his jacket at. That's why I read that disclaimer in the beginning. You're not getting me. You're not getting me for any crazy things we say. You've heard far worse here, probably in your own household. Main event of Monday Night Raw tonight. The women's tag team championships are defended by Bianca Belair and Naomi against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, and new tag team champs, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I think I said this last week. I said I wouldn't be shocked at a title change. I also wouldn't be shocked if there's a storm coming. There was no storm tonight. The weather was clear. The forecast was clear. I asked my Amazon Echo what the weather forecast was, and it did not say a storm was coming. So it leaves one spot and one spot only for us to know who attacked Jade Cargill. That's at the Elimination Chamber. Both women in the chamber. Both women no longer tag team champions. Both women vying for a spot on WrestleMania. And both women know that Raquel and Liv didn't attack Jade. So who knows when things break down in that chamber. This is not my idea. Cody sells his soul to The Rock, so Dwayne is in his corner for WrestleMania. Punk wins the chamber, and his favor is to have Heyman or Roman in his corner against Cody. This is not his idea. That is a good idea. I don't know whose idea that is. If that's not your idea, that's a pretty solid idea. I don't know. I have apprehension about Punk being a corporate shill, but I mean, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Could be applied for both guys there, for Cody and Punk. I do like that. That is a solid idea. I mean, I think Heyman's favor to Punk will be, I want a title match, or I want you in my corner. I think it would be Heyman or something in his corner. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I feel like the favor thing was just more of like a placeholder for them to when they finally figured out what that thing was going to be, whether it was like a championship match, whether it was something of the similar sort. I think that was the big placeholder, was like the favor. Because a favor could be anything. A favor could be like, hey, I need you to watch Larry for me this weekend as, me and the missus are going out on vacation. Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate that. A favor could be like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? Check on the house when I'm, gone on vacation here. A favor could be, hey, man, can you just shovel my driveway, when I'm at work so, my driveway doesn't get icy in those Chicago winters. Favor could be, hey, I want a championship match in the main event of WrestleMania, night 2, not night 1 of a buy one, get one free spectacle. It's a deep cut for you. Deep reference. So that favorite thing, big placeholder in my personal opinion. They're just like, it's a creative placeholder. We'll just whatever. It's like the magic crayon. You just draw whatever you want with it, and that'll what's going to happen. As for this, knew this tag title situation was going to get heated up. It's almost WrestleMania, 54 days away. Liv and Raquel, there is no chance in hell Liv does not head into WrestleMania as a champion after what she's done for the company these last few years. You know, how she fit right in when Rhea went down, and then Becky, and then her, and now back to Rhea. You know, I think you can make the argument Liv was the unnamed MVP of WWE last year. She did a lot for the company. She kept the Judgment Day afloat. She kept eyes on TV. She had that title everywhere and anywhere she could take that damn title to show that she was the champ. So you got to really give a lot of credit to Liv here. You know, some of the booking was not favorable. You know, I'll be the first to admit it. You know, I felt that her and Rhea's thing dragged ass a little bit. I personally would have liked to seen things progress a little bit differently. We can fantasy book it another time, but I think Liv Raquel defends those titles easily at Mania. Probably some multi-woman tag team match so that WWE doesn't have to listen to me bitch all WrestleMania week because they didn't book enough women on the show. So I'll have no choice but to be like, yeah, they booked a lot of women because they'll do like a fatal 4 or 5-way WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, or they'll throw it in a ladder match this year as the tag title ladder match, and then each tag title for Raw and SmackDown will get a singles match. Men's IC will get a multi-man. Probably do singles matches for the women's mid card, and I think you got to go singles match. Obviously, Tiffany and Charlotte. The real question will remain next week on Raw. You got Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I thought this match was at Chamber. Did I miss this announcement that it was at Elimination Chamber? The Raw after Elimination Chamber? Because I heard at Elimination Chamber, it's Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the women's world title. Because if I'm the one that's tripping on this, then that's on me, dog. That's on me. My bad. If I'm not, and we all collectively heard them make the announcement in the match for Chamber, what the hell? Because I thought this would have been a Chamber match. I thought this was was always the Raw after Elimination Chamber. Damn it, Rick. I missed it. I heard Chamber and I got excited. I thought this match was going to be on the Chamber. Damn. That's your last 30 minutes of Raw next week. I swear on everything. Triple H, WWE, Netflix, the cast of whatever Netflix show is popular right now is Love Island, Bridgerton. I don't know what's popular right now on Netflix. Whoever I'm speaking to. Into the Void. Please, 30 minutes, commercial free, main event, next Monday, Netflix, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. Let them cook. Thank you. That is my TED Talk. This has been my mic talk. It's men's chamber, women's chamber, tag, KO Sammy. Yeah, 4 matches plus an added segment with The Rock on the decision of Cody Rhodes' soul. Where will Cody Rhodes' soul go Saturday in Toronto? Will it go into the pocket of The Rock? Will it stay in Cody's chest? Where does a soul go? Where would you say your soul is? Your soul is just you here entirety. So I mean, like, it just goes back into him. I don't know. Listen, a lot of stuff coming up on Boom Broadcasting. You got Out of Pockets back. The Prez, Michael Davis, will be back this week to his regularly scheduled programming. You have It Stinks, Wrestling of Destiny by Sean. You've got Sideline Savants. You've got the Gridiron Address from last night that you can go check out. You got Dugout Debrief. You got 3 from Deep every single day on Boom Broadcasting for your NBA coverage. If I'm missing anybody's shows, I'm sorry. I have officially entered brain no worky time. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Nightcap. Hopefully, one of these days, I will have someone here to be together. We will enjoy. We will wrap up the show together. If you are a wrestling content creator, podcaster, streamer, whatever, or you have a favorite streamer, podcast, creator, tag them in the bottom of this nightcap. Tell them, I want to see you on the nightcap with Mouthing Off with Mike. Because you never know. You never know who could pop up on the nightcap. Sometimes it's just me, Oos. That's it. That's all you get. It's just me yeeting, yapping, and doing the damn thing. Sometimes you may get a surprise or two. You never know. I believe the soul is in the shoe. Right. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, in order for me to afford WrestleMania tickets, I'm going to have to sell some souls. What, whether it's my soul, those souls, another soul, I don't know whose soul. But listen, you should definitely tune in to my chamber predictions that'll drop this week on Mouthing Off with Mike, my wrestling podcast channel, on the audio side and on YouTube for what I think is going to happen with Chamber this weekend. And of course, catch the nightcap Saturday night after the Chamber and Friday night after SmackDown. I swear, if SmackDown is a chore, that will be the fastest SmackDown nightcap we might have Friday night. If that show is a chore, it won't be long Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love to all of you. Make sure, like I said, if you want to see new faces here on the nightcap, if you have a favorite wrestling content creator, podcaster, that, like, I'm not talking like the big names. Like, don't be hitting me up with, like, let's get Santi or like one of those, millionaire, $1 million, million follower TikTokers. I'm talking people that are, within our budget here. If you want to see someone, tag them down below. Be like, I want to see you and Mouthing Off with Mike do a nightcap. Listen, I'm out of here. Go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. We're about 20 or so subscribers away from hitting 500. So go show some love. Bye, guys. I'm out. Have a great week. I'll see you Friday.